Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul joined by Jack Weinberger, Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia. A Week 6 preview show today, guys. Preview shows are our favorites. We've said that before, and we stick to it right now. If you're enjoying the preview shows and the rest of the channel, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Just past 13,000. We're very happy about that. Shooting for 15. I think that's the next benchmark. We're trying to be realistic here. So 15.
There'll be a big giveaway at 15.
Yeah, 15 we'll do a giveaway.
Shoot for the stars.
Absolutely.
20.
25.
That's our next
25. Yeah.
35, 40.
If you can't watch us on YouTube, you can always listen on audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also check out our merch store in the description. If you don't want to wait for a giveaway, just go to the merch store. We've got I Love Love shirts, Paul Farrington Show shirts. This sweatshirt I have here, guys, my cousin's company, like very comfortable material. I think we might feel this, Jack.
What's the company?
I
Can you say that or no?
No idea. This feels super soft, right?
Oh, it does.
It's luxurious almost.
Are we sponsored?
It's like a blanket.
No, we're not. We don't even know who we're sponsoring here. I'm just saying, I want to get some sweatshirts this soft.
I would let you sleep on top of me in that thing.
It is
very
like
warm.
a blanket. It's
all I'm
extremely
saying is you're talking about giveaways with the prices in our merch store. Now that's a giveaway.
that is a giveaway.
Can the same person subscribe more than once to our channel?
No, but you can
If they have
unsubscribe and
multiple
resubscribe.
accounts.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
Hey, guys.
Who has only one Gmail? I've got 5 Gmails.
Whoever has only
Actually, I
subscribed.
think only 3 of them are subscribed to the show.
I only have one Gmail.
Burner accounts, get some burner accounts
Get some
going.
burner accounts going.
I mean, yeah, guys, if anyone wants to help the channel, the best way you could do that is to share us with everybody. You know, put us out on Twitter. Like, mention us. We'll try and mention back as much as we can, you know, in respectful, appropriate manners, of course. We're not trying to get canceled out here.
And of course, feel free to follow us on our other social platforms. We got a Twitter, we got a TikTok, we got an Instagram. At this point, if you're already subscribed and you've already told your friends about us, that's the biggest thing you can do.
That's a great idea, Ziggy. I meant to say that. We're trying to grow out the Instagram, the Twitter profiles, the TikTok profile. All of that's under 1,000. I mean, pretty lame of us to not grow that.
YouTube is where we're at big time right now.
Yeah, that's our place. But we're trying to grow the other ones, and any help we can get there. So if you want to follow us on @Farrington Show, is where you can find us. That'll be much appreciated. And we have some fun there. We have some fun graphics go out, and the Twitter account it's a weird place. Twitter's just a strange.
Twitter's a weird place.
See for yourself.
X is a
weird place. So today, it'll be kind of a normal preview show here. We'll have a few games that we're highlighting, and actually this week happens to be not just because we do NFC North most of the time. I think the 3 most exciting games for Sunday are probably the NFC North games. Then we're going to get into Zig or Zag. Ziggy gives us the picks. Jack Cap of the Week, some game picks, all the fun that we normally have on this show. And how about the Cap of the Week? What, 3 in a row?
3 in a row. I'm going for 4 this week.
4?
I mean, this is what Jack told us. He said it takes a while to get him going, but once he's going, he doesn't miss.
He said he will not lose again.
That the train keeps rolling. I will not lose again. I've gotten a lot of follow requests from fans who I obviously watch the show, but I obviously don't know him personally.
It sounded like you were struggling with the teleprompter there. A follow requests from
I get requests from fans who
you do though.
Yeah, who then they'll tail me and DM me like, oh, nice pick, blah blah. Let's keep going. And shout out to XPomCX, Trevor P, Patrick Williams.
Yeah, it's pretty fun seeing that. It's pretty fun seeing that stuff. Okay, so the NFC North games here. We'll go through them real quick. The Lions and the Cowboys. It's the first one we're going to look at. Lions and Cowboys. I mean, that's a really fun game, and that's a game that's probably been circled by each fan base throughout the entire season. Is, hey, if we win this one, you know, we can make some real noise here. Like that is one that could come back in the playoffs, maybe a rematch. Dallas got off to a little bit of a slower start than we expected. Detroit 3-1. I mean, great record, but not sure we've really seen the peak Lions either. Detroit's a 3-point favorite in this game. Quickly, we just wanted to say some injuries, just because it's good to be up to date on those. Frank Ragnow and Brian Branch both returned to practice. Micah Parsons did not practice. And of course, Brandon Cooks and DeMarcus Lawrence are on IR. So when figuring out, like what we're going to say about this game, just keep in mind some big time injuries, even though a few of them should be playing. The thing to me, guys, though, when I'm looking at this game, I think Detroit's just going to absolutely maul them in the trenches. And sort of what you've seen Detroit do a few times this year is play bully ball. I'm thinking, remember that drive against the Rams to win it when David Montgomery ended my fantasy team's night and just ran down the throat of LA. There we go. I was about to say it again. On the way to a game-winning touchdown for the Lions. I kind of expect them to do this the entire day to the Dallas defense, who has just been absolutely gashed on the ground this year. They're last in opponent rush EPA, 29th in opponent rush success rate. There's some beasts up front for Detroit. This screams Lions in the points to me.
Oh, me too. Which means I'm a little nervous and kind of running away from it. But these last 2 weeks, Dallas, they beat the Giants barely. They beat the Steelers barely and haven't looked good. Pittsburgh turned over Dak 3 times. Detroit is now a different animal. One of the better teams in football. Dallas has lost the last 3 games at home after being undefeated there last year. I don't care as much now.
That's a good stat, Jack.
Yeah,
that's a really good stat.
I don't care that Dallas now is at home because they haven't shown me they can win at home. It doesn't matter. Detroit is the much better team right now. Last year, these 2 teams played. Remember that? Dallas won by a point. CeeDee Lamb had...
That was the 2-point conversion game.
Yeah.
All right. And also just... I'm sorry, you can finish that before I rant.
Well, CeeDee Lamb had one of the best games of his career. He had about 240 yards last year. Now Detroit has Terry and Arnold and Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
I believe... it's an upgrade.
It's better.
Yeah. And I think the only way Dallas can win this game is if CeeDee has 300 yards.
Well, and that's going to be what the Cowboys are going to be looking for because their run game is terrible. Detroit's run defense is excellent. So it's going to come down, as you say, to whether Dak is able to get it done against the Lions secondary. And he can't be excited about the fact that Aiden Hutchinson is having a breakout year, 6.5 sacks, currently the leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. You talk about guys who've had this game circled. Well, the Cowboys are coming off of 2 pretty brutal physical games. The Lions are coming off of a bye. Mm-hmm. I would not be excited if I were Dak Prescott about a rested Aiden Hutchinson and a Lions team that has had 2 weeks to prepare coming after me.
The Dallas offense has just been unexciting the entire season. Outside of CeeDee Lamb, I think Jalen Tolbert actually stepped up in a big way against the Steelers. He had the game-winning touchdown, right? He went 7 for 10 on 10 targets and 87 yards and a touchdown there. So he had a good game, but I just don't think there's enough. Brandon Cooks being out is a big blow. So I'm with you, Jack. I think CD needs to be great. And he was in the championship game for fantasy last year. That was an unbelievable game.
No, but he has to be like, he has to repeat that.
And Dak needs to be unbelievable. And Dak has not been unbelievable so far. But yeah, the run game is horrible. Like what are you going to do? Detroit, where's Detroit in rush defense this year? They're 4th in the league right now. And Dallas's offense is 31st in rushing. So there's only so much optimism you could really have in this game. If you're a Cowboy fan, again, if you win and you are at home, if you win, you're right back in it because Detroit's a big time contender. But just from a statistical analysis, which isn't really what like me and you do, Jack, that's like Ziggy's realm on this show. Statistically speaking, though, this feels like Detroit should be able to punish them.
No, and it's blindingly obvious, right? To put on the other side, Detroit is 6th in rushing yards per game. They're 4th in their past 3 games. The Cowboys' run defense per PFF is 32nd in the league, dead last. So it's a terrible, stylistic matchup for the Cowboys.
You paid Dak $60 million. Go win the game.
Assuming there's no Micah Parsons and there's no DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah. I forgot about that. No, I'm saying I forgot about it. I forgot Micah might not play.
Assuming there's no Micah and we know there's no DeMarcus Lawrence, this is a different type of team than the Giants and Steelers and their high school offenses. There's not a world where Dallas stops Detroit.
Mm-hmm. I didn't Marshawn Nealand either, right? Another injury on that defensive line.
Yep. It takes a great Dak performance. It's going to take one.
This gets ugly to me, this game.
If Dallas wins, though, we're going to be here on the power rankings, so they're going to be like 8, 7, or 6.
They'll be
in the top 10.
They'll be like 3 if they win this game.
For sure, if they win this game.
3 straight wins, beating the Lions, yeah.
But you pay Dak $60 million to win games like this. I know that they're shorthanded, but he probably won't.
Dak sucks.
Okay, the second game here, the NFC North game we're going to look at, the Jaguars and the Bears. And you might say, hey, guys, what the hell are we doing here? Jaguars and the Bears. But Jack's boy, Caleb Williams, is finally starting to figure it out a little bit.
You see this? Wore my USC hat today.
Jack coming around on Caleb Williams a little bit.
No, I'm just giving him his flowers for one game.
Ziggy was predicting that eventually, the way that we came to the realization with the Packers last year, that, oh crap, Jordan Love looks good. And it slowly went from doom and gloom to we were on the acceptance trail. That at some point, Jack may be on a similar 7 stages of grief with Caleb Williams throughout the season. But Caleb, he had his best game.
3 horrendous. Like, let's not jump the gun here.
He has, but he's gotten better. I read an article. It was a overreaction article piece, to be fair, from a Chicago fan, like where they intentionally overreact like crazy. And he was just like, I've never seen someone progress at this rate in the NFL. The way Caleb Williams has over these past 5 weeks, where it's gotten substantially better each week. And he was very good. He was very good in the win against the Panthers. DJ Moore, 5 receptions, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. I mean, this is another one of those games now, Bears-Jaguars, statistically speaking. And you know it's bad when Jack and I are throwing out stats because it's that obvious. This is a statistically great game for the Bears on paper here.
Yeah, you talk about bad secondaries. The Jaguars are coming off back-to-back games, giving up 340 or more passing yards. Against CJ Stroud, very good. Joe Flacco, all right. And I think from the Bears' perspective, right, this is a very winnable game at home. If you win this game, you're 4-2.
Crazy,
right?
Yeah,
crazy.
Like, and they're that 3-2. They're tied for last in the division, which is just outrageous and tells you how strong the NFC North is. But at 4-2, you have to start thinking about this team making one of those wild card spots. It would be one of the best records in the NFC. And again, I think you have to be happy about drawing a very winnable game against a team that's allowing the second most yards per play, that's dead last in opponent EPA per play, right as Caleb Williams is starting to get hot. And the Jaguars offense, I don't think, has threatened a lot of people. I know they did well against the Colts, but the Bears offense is a completely different beast. Even though they're only 2-point favorites, this is in London, right?
Completely different beast is a little strong, but yes.
The
Bears
are the way the Bears are just a very different team than the Colts. That's what I mean. The only reason I hesitate is the Jaguars-London factor, but otherwise, I think the Bears should run away with this.
This is it's the Pretty Boy Bowl with Trevor Lawrence and Caleb Williams. One's got the long, luscious.
You think they're pretty?
Well, I do. One's got the long, luscious blonde hair.
Jack's starting to rub off on you, little Ziggy.
One's got the long, luscious blonde hair. One's got the painted fingernails. Southern California boy. It's a Pretty Boy Bowl. I think this is a game where Caleb Williams and the Bears offense will have a lot of opportunity to capitalize off a short field, because I see the defense forcing 2-3 turnovers on Trevor Lawrence and this Jags offense.
So Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he dominated the Colts last week. You see him coming.
I'm not high on him right now. I think he had a great game last week at home. I think they fly across the pond now. This Bears defense.
Well, he's going to his second home, Jack.
You are right. It's a good point, but I think this Bears defense gets
that
going.
Seems like something you might influence you a little.
No, it usually would, but I think this Bears D gives him a hard time.
Well, Ziggy, you were mentioning the Jaguars have the worst pass defense in the league. They're 32nd in opponent dropback EPA. The Bears, on the other hand, to support what Jack's saying here, rank first in dropback EPA. So this does seem like a spot where if you're a Bears fan, they're a 1.5 point favorite. If you're a Bears fan, you feel very good going into this, that, okay, everything they're bad at, we're kind of good at. And it's, I'm with you. I do expect Chicago. You said run away with it, right, Ziggy?
Yeah, I think this could be.
That might be a little bit. I don't know if I see Chicago running away from many teams just yet. I know they did against the Panthers. But I think the Bears win this one and maybe at the end pull away to win by double digits, like 10 or so.
There is also a world there where the Bears turn over the Jags, get good field position, and then Caleb gives it right back.
No, the Jaguars can win this game.
Yeah,
I feel more confident that Detroit beats Dallas than I do the Bears beat the Jaguars.
It's a bigger spread, so that makes sense.
Yes, Paul. Good. Same.
I feel like there's a lot of people who think that the Cowboys are good and will beat Detroit at home. This is a game in London. I don't think that's a crazy thing.
I honestly probably agree with you.
What, like with my philosophy or with what I just said that the Cowboys or the
no,
Bears?
what you just said about
okay.
the yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's people out there who are like, oh, Cowboys at home.
Thank you. The philosophy.
Yeah, yes, the philosophy.
See, Ziggy,
if the Bears were at home, they would crush this game. This would be a.
Oh, it'd be one of those games where they have like a block punt return for a touch.
Pick 6, 17 sacks. Yeah.
It'd be 17-0 in the second quarter.
With no offense.
You look at fantasy, the Bears defense would have 24 points, and you'd probably be playing them. You'd be like, oh, geez, like, here we go again. Caleb wouldn't really do too much. But this is the chance here. after a win like last week, where you actually have the fan base believing to the point where people are writing articles that the Bears have finally found their quarterback and the playoffs could be on, winning this game, getting to 4-2, just keeping that momentum going for the Bears, maybe more than many teams in the league. That momentum is going to be important because no one believes in Chicago once things go wrong. Like they're kind of like the Jets in some ways. It's like it starts to like eventually the wheels fall off. And
What? Where is Jacksonville ranked? Their secondary? They're 32.
Here are their numbers. Here are their numbers. Second most. They allow the second most yards per play in the NFL. 31st in opponent EPA per play. 32nd in opponent dropback EPA. They have the 32nd ranked pass defense in yards per game. 31st in total yards per game and 30th in points.
That's going to be so fun when they pick off Caleb like 3 times.
I
can't wait.
It will be fulfilling for you.
I changed I'm taking the Jaguars.
After those stats convinced you.
Yes, I'm taking Jacksonville.
I think, but if Caleb plays well and wins this game, you're open to coming around? Like you're not shutting the door completely on Caleb, are you?
Well, I think Jacksonville's secondary is worse than Georgia. So shut the door's still shut for now.
Oh, the door's still shut.
Okay,
we'll get there.
These are bad teams, Paul. The Panthers, the Jags. These are bad teams.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Maybe.
So, all right, we'll continue on with the last game here. We're going to preview another fun one. This could be offensive fireworks here. The Cardinals and the Packers in Green Bay, both coming off wins in LA. The Cardinals coming off a pretty good win, against San Francisco. Like they got a little bit lucky with some turnovers late, but 14-0, they outscored the 49ers in the second half. That's a huge win for them to get back in. They lose that game, and all of a sudden the season could be on the brink. The Packers, on the other hand, they survived a late comeback by the Rams. It felt really comfortable for Green Bay fans probably throughout much of that third quarter. And we're getting ready to do our show. We're watching the game like, okay, Packers won, check. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, the Rams could come back. And for Ziggy and I, Vikings fans, are like, oh, all right, this could be big. Separation is what we want in the NFC North. And Green Bay was able to hold on there at the end. A couple quick injury notes. Jair Alexander, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, isn't injured, but was out for the game, suspended. They're all practicing right now. Devontae Wyatt did not practice on Wednesday. So Packers could be getting some big time players back for this matchup against the Cardinals, and a fairly red hot Kyler Murray after last week. So Ziggy, where do you see, as the resident closeted Packers fan, where do you see this? Where do you see this game going?
I mean, I mentioned it during our power rankings. I'm not sure which will come out first, but I think this Cardinals win over the 49ers was close to a fluke. It relied on the 49ers having their kicker get injured and have literally nobody who could kick a field goal more than 25 yards. Romeo Doubs is back for the Packers. He's practicing. He's going to be playing fully. And even without Romeo Doubs, of an offense that didn't look great, the Packers were able to go on the road and beat a Rams team that, while they're not the best in the NFL, is a solid team. They're a tough out, even though they're 1-4. Now you get to go home. You're 3-2. Jordan Love, he's playing at home for the first time since the Vikings disaster. Things are starting to click, and we saw that, I think, in the Rams game. I don't know how you don't see this game and think Packers blowout. As much as I hate to say it, as much as I'd love for the Vikings to get an even bigger lead in the division, it sure seems like an angle. This is the kind of game that the Packers just win. It's the kind of, they just win these. I know it.
I'm totally with Ziggy. I think the fact that Packers lost their last home game, the biggest game of their season to date against Minnesota, tough comeback, lost by 2. Jordan Love now is healthy. The Cardinals just had a big emotional win on the road at San Francisco. This just shouts now they go to Lambeau against the hungry Packers team who's back at home for the first time since that loss. And I agree, I think Green Bay blows them out.
I do think one area the Packers can take advantage of, and this is, I know I've been a little stat heavy in this episode, but the Cardinals' rush defense has been poor this year. They're 28th in the league. Josh Jacobs and the Packers' offense, to be fair, Jordan Love was out for a few games, and they really relied on the ground game, but the ground game was great without Jordan Love. And Josh Jacobs has been going at times. They're third in the NFL right now. In their wins, actually just this year, they've just been excellent running the football. But 261 against the Colts, 188 against the Titans, 126 last week. They were under 100, held under 100 against the Vikings. The Packers rushing offense if they're able to get that going, then things open up for Jordan Love, who now has the receivers back. That's where you can get into dangerous territory if you're Arizona. I don't think this is a blowout. The Cardinals tend to play up and down to their competition so far this season. So I do see them keeping it close throughout. And I really do think Kyler Murray is good enough to win this game. Like, without Kyler Murray, the Cardinals are 1-8. I think over the past 2 years, they're 5-8 with him. Not a great record, but without Kyler, this is one of the worst rosters in football.
Oh, yeah.
Or they play like one of the worst rosters in football. So just his presence there will keep it close. But I do see Green Bay pulling off a close win at the end where maybe they stop Arizona, get the ball back and knee it out.
I mean, the big factor here for me, I love my guy, Jaden Reed. He's been
awesome.
He's been balling out. He's been awesome. And it's Green Bay being at home in Lambeau Field. Like, this game's different to me if it's in Arizona, but the fact it's in Lambeau off that loss to Minnesota.
Yeah, there's only one team in the NFL that owns Lambeau Field, other than Green Bay, and that's the Minnesota Vikings.
Exactly. Yeah. Steelers too. I think we won the last time we were there also.
I'm just playing around, but yeah, I do think that being at home at Lambeau, you're right. I do like that. Hey, let's come back and reiterate whose house this is.
Yeah.
They're 5-point favorites. I think Packers -5 might be a walk of the week.
I am more confident again. I'm more confident here, Ziggy. How do you like this? I'm more confident in Detroit beating Dallas, I think, than I am the Packers beating Arizona.
I think that's crazy.
But you're more confident in
Detroit beating Dallas and the Packers beating the Cardinals.
No, the Packers are a bigger lock to me than the Lions are.
When was the last time the Packers lost a game like this?
Can the Viking game count?
No, the Vikings are a much better team than the Cardinals.
When did they lost? I don't know. They don't really lose games like that.
Do we think the Packers are a top 20 team in the NFL? I'll own it. I was wrong about this team. I thought there was upside, and I think there is long term. Are they a top? I know they beat the 49ers.
The Cardinals?
But are the Cardinals a top 20 team?
I think they're probably a top 20 team.
It's close.
It's borderline, right?
I was going to say, could you compare it a little bit to when they lost to Tampa at home last year? I mean, the Bucs were a playoff team divisional round, so that does feel a little bit.
This Cardinals team, the Packers don't lose to bad teams. I'm sorry, I've seen this too many times. I'm with you. I want them to lose this game. It's
oh no, I think they'll win. I do think they'll win, but I think it'll be a good game. I think Arizona keeps it, generally speaking, kind of close.
That little mouse won't beat Green Bay and Lambeau.
I'm trying to think if the Cardinals are in my top 20. I think probably at this point in the season. Just going through teams quickly off the top of my head.
Cardinals or Steelers? Who do you have higher?
The Steelers would beat the Cardinals. The Steelers would have... So the Cardinals are the kind of team against the Steelers where they would have some fluky bullshit happen at the end.
They'd have like 6 turnovers.
Watt would have a crazy stat, yeah. So I do agree with you, though. I have the Packers winning this one. And it's kind of funny in the NFC North. We're not there yet, but we're kind of getting to the point where every single team is watching every single team each week. Like, usually you have at least 1 or 2 teams that kind of fade off, but with the way they're all kind of ascending too, which is the scary thing for NFC North fans. That if the Packers lose this, they're looking over and they go, "Oh, if the Bears win in London in the morning, like, all right, we're behind Chicago." Like, if you're behind, the Packers could be in last. Easy.
I mean, yeah, we're what
the Lions could be. The Lions could lose to the Cowboys and then be in last in the NFC North.
Yeah, and we're a third of the way through.
Yeah,
we're a third of the way through.
All these teams are having, for the most part, very good years, but. Between the Lions, the Bears, and the Packers, they could all be in second or last next week in the division. And then you have undefeated Minnesota at the top. So it's a lot of fun.
Time for a bye. It's a nice time for a bye.
It is. I can't wait for that Viking Lion game. All right, let's get into Zig or Zag here. Oh, bless you.
Zig.
Is that
Zag?
Was that
Zig,
Ziggy
Zag.
like kind of getting into Zig or Zag?
Oh, he's getting into it.
His body was alerting him. It's time. All right, Ziggy. Zig or Zag? Give us
Hold on, Ziggy. Can we sell some of your mucus to our fans?
Oh.
How much would that go for? How much do you think that would go for some people?
It's $0.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you have guys like Kevin Durant who are saying like they'd buy Scarlett Johansson's.
I mean, so would I.
Bathwater.
Let's just
Zig or Zag. All right, Zig or Zag.
I told you what my lock of the week was, so I've got to put it in Zig or Zag. Packers at home against the Cardinals at -5.
Man. Come on.
No, the Vikings aren't playing. Right? I've taken the Vikings line against Zig or Zag a bunch of times, and it's always worked. Are you telling me the Packers don't blow out the Cardinals? Packers -5.
Yeah, total.
Final answer.
Total Zig. Total Zig. I think they blow them out.
I guess I'll zig because I think they're going to win by a touchdown. I think it's a close, like it's a one-score game. I don't think they blow them out. But yeah, I guess. I mean, no, just the conviction with which he said it. And he was like, lock of the week.
Oh, I've been hurt enough. It's the lock of the week.
Okay.
Total
All right,
zig.
So we do both zig, though.
I'm going to put Jack to the test here. Hey, Paul, can you tell me what those stats were on the Jaguars passing defense real quick?
You want them again?
Yeah, give them to me again.
Okay. The Jaguars defense, here it is. Second most yards per play allowed in the NFL, 31st in opponent EPA per play, 32nd in opponent dropback EPA. The worst passing defense in the league, 287.8 yards per game, 31st total yards per game allowed, 28.6 points allowed per game is 30th in the league.
And you're telling me Caleb Williams' line is 237.5? I was burned by this once, I will admit it, but Caleb Williams is finally starting to figure it out. The Jaguars have a horrendous passing defense. It's one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. And DJ Moore might break 237 on his own. Give me the Caleb Williams 237.5 passing yards over.
There is no better way for a bad secondary to get back on track than playing a crappy rookie quarterback who paints his nails. Zag.
I'm zigging with you.
I'm not sure what his nails have to do with it, but
he's a pretty boy.
It's the pretty boy bowl. No, I have. I'm sticking with you on this one. I am not yet totally there on. I think Caleb will be very good. I'm not sure that the consistency is going to be there yet. But this is a week where even if he's kind of up and down a bit, I think that they'll be moving the ball up and down the field throughout the game. The Jags defense has been horrible. Like Flacco just obliterated.
I think the Jags have 2 picks in this game.
They might, but you know what? Caleb Williams hit the over.
Yeah, it still goes under. 183 and 2 picks.
All right, who's your last one? So you got Caleb Williams over. You got the Packers winning. So this is just very anti-Viking right now.
This one's not going to be a Vikings anti. It's not related to the Vikings.
Lions -3.
I actually might be pro-Vikings in a certain way. So Nico Collins just suffered a miserable injury, went to IR of a hamstring injury. And the Texans need guys to get the ball because their running game, I think it'll get better with Joe Mixon back. But this is CJ Stroud's offense, and it always has been. Everyone's talking Stephon Diggs. Everyone's talking Tank Dell. But there's a guy who I think the Texans are going to need to lean on even more in Dalton Schultz. Now, Dalton Schultz in his past 2 games has had 34 receiving yards, and that's with Nico Collins at either full health or partial health. The line for this Patriots game, a game the Texans should dominate, 29.5. I think his receiving yards, this is my bold take, when the number 1 receiver on a team goes out, I think the receiving yards for the other players will go up, not down. And I think when you're playing the Patriots, who are not a very good team, your stats will go up, not down. So I'm not going to predict Dalton Schultz's receiving yards to go down. I'm going to say at 29.5, he's going to go up, not down. Give me the over.
Yeah, I have nothing. Literally
That's
nothing.
So
I have nothing to counter that. So
it just sounds right.
So if he gets 30 yards, he hits the over.
Well, that is how the over.
30 yards. That's it.
It's 29.5.
29.5.
Yeah.
I have nothing to counter, so I'm going to go over zig.
Oh yeah, I have to zig after that explanation.
Zig.
I have to.
That's a total
doesn't
zig.
it just sound right?
It's begging. It's begging for the over. There.
He's like the security blanket too. He's a big, tall, tight end.
Good call.
Jack, how tall is he?
Good call.
What is he, 6'5"?
Yes, that's exactly right. He's 6'5".
I just think Stroud feeds him over the middle all day. Over. Zig. Total zig.
So you got 5 zigs and 1 zag on this segment. And the 1 zag was Jack on Caleb Williams.
There's no Caleb Williams over you could get Jack to zig on except fumbles and interceptions.
You can take the alternate 100 yards over at like -1,000. I'm still zagging it.
All right, let's do the game picks here. That was great stuff, Ziggy. All right, game picks here for week 6. The 49ers, a 3.5-point favorite at the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football.
The Niners, they bounce back. I think the Seahawks are terrible.
Yeah, I don't. I think the Seahawks team is pretty good. I think this 49ers team is better. Give me the Niners.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks. I'm sorry. I think the 49ers win and cover. I mean, they own Seattle. I feel like we have this game once. Obviously, we have it twice a year.
It's like you have this game twice a year.
Obviously, we have it twice a year. But I mean, I feel like we have like this Thursday night game once a year between these two teams. That's just absolute. It's just a shellacking by the 49ers. This is a better lock than Packers over the Cardinals, by the way. I'll list off how many are better.
No way.
All right, Jaguars in London, 9:30 a.m. They're home away from home at the Bears, who are technically the home team here. 1.5 point favorite, Chicago.
The Jags. 3 picks, 1 pick six, domination. Jags.
Trevor Lawrence has a passer. He's thrown for, in 3 games in London, he's thrown for 560 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So he's not exactly, his passer rating is 75. So this is not exactly a Sir Blake situation. That makes me comfortable taking the Bears.
Sir Blake.
I picked the Bears in the game period, but I'm switching to the Jags now.
You switched it too. You switched it.
Okay.
I got the Bears in this one. It's not always going to be pretty. I don't think they blow them out, but at the end, probably win this game by like 10 points or roughly.
You know, Blake Bortles played for the UCF Knights.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he beat Baylor.
Sir Blake.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He beat Baylor, right?
Is 10, honestly, is 10 might be a lot for the Bears. This will be a good game, but the Bears win. The Commanders at the Ravens. If there's ever a test for Jay and Daniels, going to Baltimore. Well, hey, if Gardner Minshew could do it, why can't Jay and Daniels?
I think this is one of those games in Baltimore where they host a team who's up and coming and people start to believe in it, and Baltimore just beats the living crap out of them.
Yeah.
I'm what's the spread?
6.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go Baltimore minus the points. That
This
might be
you,
my lock.
Yeah. If you're putting the Commanders at 4, I don't exactly know how big a gap you think there is between them and the Ravens. You'll get 6.5 and think, yeah, I'm taking the Ravens there.
It's home field.
For your number 4 team in the NFL.
Home field.
Yeah, no, it's the Ravens. I actually think the Commanders will cover this. I think it's going to be the rushing offense that's too much, and Jaden Daniels just won't get a chance to win them the game.
Ziggy,
the Commanders' defense will be exposed, but the offense will come out smelling like a rose.
Ziggy keeps saying your Commanders at 4. It's our Commanders at 4, Ziggy. This is the joint power.
I just know the list. I'm invoking the Zach Blomquist privilege.
Jaden Daniels he's kind of like the Lamar Jackson of the NFC right now, a little bit.
They asked him about this, and he said, no, we're totally different players.
You know what? I'm going to say yes. I mean, he's the best running quarterback in the
and their play styles are very similar. I think JD is better with the arm, though.
I don't think anyone is close. You know, the explosiveness of Lamar running. He looks like he's shot out of a cannon every time. Daniels is a good runner, but Lamar is just on another level. And Derrick Henry's been great. I got the Ravens too covering. The Buccaneers, 3.5 point favorites at the Saints, starting Spencer Rattler. I don't know how that line is 3.5.
Spencer Rattler starting?
That's what I saw.
The South Carolina game.
How is that 3.5?
Well, who's Saints versus who?
Buccaneers at Saints.
Because the Saints defense is good and the Bucs aren't that good.
Well, but he's the Carolina Gamecock though. He's not bad.
I have the Bucs winning. I think this is a better bet than the Packers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucs as well.
I'm taking the Saints.
Any reason or just a gut feeling?
I think the Saints defense is good, and I think Alvin Kamara is good.
That's Kamara is for me. The Browns at the Eagles. Eagles 9.5 point favorite. Is anyone going with Cleveland right now?
Nope.
In EPA per pass, I will just say there are 2 quarterbacks since 2000 that have been worse than Deshaun Watson through 5 games. Jamarcus Russell and that terrible Cordell Stewart year. That's it. Out of 621 quarterbacks that qualify, that is it.
God.
That's
Deshaun
right.
Watson is having a substantially worse season. Substantially. 0.1 EPA per play lower than Deshaun Kaiser did through 5 games. This is the worst quarterback the Browns have ever seen.
Well, you're going to throw Strayzy or fight.
I was going to say that's a Kaiser stray right
you're
there.
Going to throw Strayzy or fight.
Kaiser was terrible. That was the 0-17 year. And Deshaun Watson is substantially worse than that. No, I'm never picking this team again until they get rid of the curse and cut Watson.
Doom and gloom in Cleveland.
I don't think they'll win another game the rest of the year.
No, they will.
No, I don't think they will.
They'll win a game.
The Patriots would be 5-point favorites going into Cleveland.
As they should be.
Give me the
this
Eagles.
would be such a fun game for the Browns to beat the Eagles, and just because I'm not an Eagles guy at all. I really don't like Philly.
That's America's symbol.
I like
Are you
Eagles,
nuts?
not the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry. Great, good catch there. The Colts at the Colts at the Titans. The Titans are 2.5-point favorite. A lot of T's there.
Oh, jeez. I'm just going. Who's starting, AR or is it Flacco?
I believe Richardson's on track to play. Ziggy, could you fact check that?
It's day to day. They're gonna see.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go back to my young quarterback in Nashville narrative. Big night out Saturday night for AR. Hungover Sunday morning. Titans win at home.
I don't know. The Titans have a bunch of injuries, and unfortunately for them, Will Levis is getting healthy. So there's a chance that he plays. So I am going to have to take the Colts in this one.
I'm going to go with the Colts as well. The Colts, I had high expectations for Indianapolis, and so far they disappointed. Flacco's look great, so I'm actually kind of comfortable. I think the Colts are actually more likely to win if Flacco plays in this game right now. From where they're at. So I'm going to go with the Colts. I still think even if AR plays, that they'll beat Tennessee. The Texans are 7-point favorites at the Patriots. I'm assuming we all have Houston here.
Yeah.
And New England can once in a while give you a game, but do we all expect Houston to cover 7 points? Probably.
If I had a gun in my head, I'd say
probably.
Drake May's starting, but we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great. I'm sorry, I missed it. Yeah, Drake May starting his first game. Well, fun to watch for Patriots fans. Like, this is a game that you've been waiting for. So it's certainly one that even for a team that's kind of has low expectations at this point in the season, you're still glued to your TV watching, see how he does. So with that said, though, I do have the Texans still.
How come everybody says glued to your TV, not taped to your TV?
Or strapped.
Or strapped or stapled.
Attached.
I
think you hear attached sometimes.
Attached, but like, why not taped? I'm taped to my TV this weekend watching the Steelers game. Why is it always glued?
I don't know. You could start saying it, though.
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
You'll be taped to your TV this weekend.
Ziggy's telling us to move on.
The Cardinals at the Packers. Packers 5.5-point favorites. You guys have both said you're big on Green Bay. I said I would tail you with the points, but I don't think they blow them out. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorites. Oh, Jack, at your Denver Broncos.
The Broncos are a home dog?
Home dog.
It's Broncos. I got the Broncos, baby. Moving up those power rankings week by week.
I mean, this is Ziggy's team, though, on the other side.
Yeah, look, Justin Herbert, it looks like he'll play. I'm in the battle of the Oregon QBs. It's going to be an easy Chargers for me.
You're taking Herbert the pervert on the road?
It's a
bad move.
In this one, I'm going to go... Man, Denver, I keep picking against them. I don't really like them, but they're winning games. I'm going to go with the Chargers in a close, ugly game. I mean, I don't know how many teams there are that you could force me to watch where I'd be more upset than watching the Broncos or Chargers play. I mean, like, they just don't really play in pretty games right now.
Yeah, it's top 5 team in football.
The Steelers at the Raiders. Speaking of teams, that you have to have a gun to my head to watch play. The Steelers are 3-point favorites at the Raiders.
This will be an all Pittsburgh crowd, by the way.
You understand, by the way.
This will be a home game.
In a game that will be a home game for you against a team that just lost by 20 to the Broncos.
Yes.
You're only a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, because we're going to lose. We'll go to Vegas. It'll be a home game. Raiders are terrible, and we will lose. So I'm going to take the Raiders.
Is Devontae even playing?
I don't care. We're going to lose.
You'll win this game.
I'm done with...
You're winning this game.
No. They're bad.
I got the Steelers.
I'm going to take
the Raiders.
I'm taking the Raiders.
Ziggy?
I'm taking the Raiders.
What about the Raiders?
Steelers are bad, Paul.
Did you watch the Raiders play this season? They got blown. Have you seen the Panthers lately?
The Steelers
beat the Ravens.
The Steelers are bad.
You think that Caleb Williams is the worst quarterback ever? He beats the shit out of the Panthers, who absolutely dog walked the Raiders. Sorry, my bad. Dog walked the Raiders?
I don't believe in the commutative property. What is that? The associative, commutative,
transitive.
I don't believe in that nonsense. The transitive property. Yeah. Vandy beat Alabama. We can do this all day. I don't believe in that process.
Your team will beat the Las Vegas Raiders, who just got whooped by the Broncos.
I don't think they will. I hope they do. I hope they do.
This is a game where TJ Watt can win it by himself. TJ Watt will do something crazy.
Taking the Steelers, I'm not taking the Steelers. He has insight into this team. He knows.
We stink.
All right. The Falcons are 6.5-point favorites at the Panthers.
Falcons.
Lions, 3-point favorites against Dallas. We all say we're on Lions. Ziggy, Cincinnati Bengals are 3.5-point favorites in an absolute thriller of a Sunday night game against the Giants in New York.
Giants versus who?
Bengals.
In New Jersey.
In Jersey.
The Bengals won this game.
Yeah, the Giants are just coming off a great emotional win. Tyrone Tracy had a breakout game. I hope he's on your dynasty teams.
You know, I'm sorry. You said
I'm taking the Bengals easy.
I know.
And I hope
I was kind of making fun of the two of them just now, but the Bengals are fun to watch offensively, and the Giants have played better. So that even though this isn't, as good as the past few Sunday night games we've had, it's still it could still be entertaining. The Bill, I'm going with the
three
Bengals.
Combined wins.
Yeah. The Bills 2.5-point favorites at the Jets. I mean, the Jets, Salah's gone. They desperately need a win.
To me, this feels like an Antonio Pierce situation where they're going to step in and everybody's going to want to play for the new guy, and Rodgers is going to make it go. And this will cover up their flaws for a little bit. But this offense is terrible. And it's terrible just because they're running it the way Rodgers wants rather than the way an NFL offense should be run. Rodgers thinks he's Tom Brady, and he's just not. I'm sorry. I'm going to take but nevertheless, I think the Antonio Pierce effect is going to get them going, and they're going to beat the Bills at home, and this will be their big win. So give me the Jets.
I'm kind of feeling that same thing.
Me too.
You know how I tend to get like a feeling? I just have a feeling. I'm not going to, I don't know.
All you have are feelings.
Yes. Like, I don't give numbers or stats or handicap.
You don't really think much.
I don't think. I just get these feelings. It's a home game. Everyone's down on the Jets. I think the Jets are going to win.
Yeah, I don't have a feeling, but I'm going to go with the Jets as well. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Well, and the Bills has got to be the play.
It's the Bills will play. Okay, so speaking of feelings, the cap of the week.
Oh, boy, am I excited. Ziggy? Back to the college.
I'm excited to tail you because you keep winning.
Hell yeah. Back to the college slate. This is a crazy one. So 3 in a row
buckle up.
Going for 4 in a row. We've also talked a lot about on this show Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams. Big game for Juju Smith-Schuster, by the way, last week too. Just throwing that out there. So this Saturday happens to be Universal Music Day. And it's no coincidence. I was cleaning out my attic and I found my old trombone that I played in 7th grade. I started playing it for the first time in about 15 years. Do you know why I have that trombone? It's because when I was a young kid, I had aspirations of attending University of Southern California and playing in their marching band. Because I love their fight.
Sunglasses, the fact they only play one stupid song over and over again.
I love their fight song. That's why I got a trombone. I busted that trombone out of my attic when I was cleaning. I'm celebrating Music Day and taking USC with Sam Darnold, leading them out of the tunnel, plus 4.5, little money line sprinkle. I think they beat Penn State in the LA Coliseum, baby. Give me those Trojans from Southern Cal.
You know,
they have the worst fight song in college sports.
I'm hearing it right now, baby.
Same stupid thing over and over again.
It is an evil sounding fight song.
Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm out.
Isn't it? It is an evil sounding fight. Like, Notre Dame is clearly the good guys in that situation.
Sam the man taking him out of the tunnel.
That's where I get conflicted. Like, I am a Sam Darnold guy now.
He's taking him out of the tunnel against the 4th ranked team. USC.
I'll be rooting for you. I'll be rooting for Sam not to fall out, walking out of the tunnel, running out. But after that, I can't.
Penn State is...
Remember when Sam Darnold went to South Bend? What happened then?
Oh, we were at Jack was at that game.
Oh, that was a road game. I had Notre Dame in that game.
You were at that game.
I was at that game.
That was a
great
night.
USC's DC played his college football at Penn State as well. He'll have that defense revved up, ready to go.
I can't say I'm rooting for USC, Jack, but I'll give a smirk if the cap hits for you.
Penn State's the second best team in PA. Pitt's better than Penn State.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Notre Dame kind of needs USC to win this game. Yeah. All right. I'm with you.
Put on those Trojans, baby. Put on those Trojans this weekend, Ziggy. Put on those Trojans this weekend.
We need to win. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. The cap of the week going for 4 straight. We had some game picks. We had some game previews. We had Zigger Zag. Ziggy getting 5 Zigs and only 1 Zag. We'll be back with a week 6 reaction show, and Ziggy will be here in person. I mean, how about that? Ziggy in person. This is the first time
can't wait.
We've done the show for 3 years, and this is the first time Ziggy will be in person.
I feel like we got to make a bigger deal out of that than like a quick mention at the end of the hour-long episode.
Yeah, that does feel. We'll do something. Maybe we'll blow you up on a graphic.
We'll throw it out.
We got to do a live. We've got to do a live.
Oh yeah, we could do that. We'll do a live with Ziggy in person. That'll be great.
100%.
That'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna have to figure out how to configure the studio. I mean,
we'll find a way.
Not much room for 3 people back here.
I'll have my
we might have to
arm
go to our
around
table.
Ziggy, I'll be like this around you the entire time. Arm around the shoulder.
Do we go back to our old table?
Please don't.
That'd be crazy. All right, we'll see you for the Week 6 reaction show with Ziggy live.